Welcome back to the one and only podcast. Hello, Glyn. Welcome to February.
Welcome, Laura. And excited about our guest this week.
Oh, you're jumping straight in.
This month.
Straight
no,
away.
but not. We always do a little review on what we did, didn't we?
We do.
Or do we?
What have you done in the last month then?
It's really been a lot of expo stuff. Huh?
A lot of admin, hasn't it?
A lot of expo stuff. Just getting, just getting ready for it. The colour of the shavings has been an important thing.
Very important, yes.
Yeah.
It was a tricky decision between blue or blue.
No, it's not blue or blue. It's like royal blue.
Or other blue.
Or other blue. I quite like what we've ended up with. And yeah, just there's been a lot of that. It does take more of your time than you realise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Expo. But a lot. It's going to be a huge show.
We've got a couple of good new sponsors on board.
Really excited about them, yeah.
So, I can't believe it's just a month away, 4 weeks, 5 weeks away. It's mental. 5
weeks, yeah, but it's going to be good. I was expecting it. I just wasn't expecting to see the size of entries from different farms, so it's good.
It's good.
What have you been up to?
Similar, January I always find is quite an admin-y month, which I quite enjoy, getting everything organised for the month ahead, see where we're at after 6 months. Results look good.
Yeah.
Prices are good.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. This week in the market it is, so we're recording on what's the date today, the 10th. It is Farm Safety Week. Did you know that?
No.
So the yellow wellies and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Remember last year on the podcast in February and I made you phone one of your friends.
Oh, yes.
Just to tell him that you loved them.
Who did I call? Mark
Knutsford.
Oh my God, he was.
And he called you a bender on the show.
You were a bender. And then he called me back. He didn't. He thought I was winding him up, and he didn't realize that he was on the podcast. I forgot about that. Yeah.
You just called to tell him that you love him. That was nice.
I love you too, lad. You bender. Yeah. Is that mind your head thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I seen it. Was that on local TV last night?
Could have been. Oh yeah, it was on. What do you call it?
Border News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing a piece on it.
That was very good. It was a good little clip, really. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few campaigns and things like that coming down to Borderway tomorrow. Yellow wellies and Mind and
all
kind of
important stuff.
Farm safety and all that kind of stuff. Physically and mentally, it is very important.
Yeah. So mind your head, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And the rest of you as well.
Yeah.
Donald will hate me for doing this, but Donald lost a fight to a Holstein the other week as well. He hurt his shoulder.
Oh dear.
Turns out that she's a little bit bigger than him.
What, rolled him or just?
Just boofed him out of the way.
Oh. Is he needing to go to the...
He had it cracked back in.
Not nice.
But she's away now. She's away to a better place.
Yeah, she's where she doesn't roll people's soldiers.
No, I imagine that she's rolled upside down now.
Aye. Good.
That's the circle of life for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, who have we got on the podcast this month?
Jess.
Hi.
Give her a full title.
Jess Miller.
Indeed.
Welcome to the one and only Jess Miller. Welcome to the one and only.
Well, thank you for having me.
First podcast.
Absolutely.
How exciting.
Yes.
We often do this, to be fair.
A little bit terrifying. I didn't think I'd be nervous about it, but I woke up this morning and there's not been breakfast eaten just yet. Which isn't like me.
You'll be fine. We've got
lightly on me.
We've got a massive list of really difficult questions for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, where is it again?
Got your list of paper there, ready to go.
No, we don't.
Nice. So, I always get a row for this. Well, Glyn mainly, because he instigates going all over the place in a chaotic manner. And the listeners are like, whoa, we've went from like this to that. And it's a bit bing bong boo. So we'll try and stay.
Are this going to be structured?
We'll try. But
Point number one.
I'm not promising that, Laura. We'll try, but I'm not promising.
Tell us who Jess Miller is.
So we farm up in Dumfries. Many will know the Keeda prefix. We've been big supporters of the UK Dairy Expo for a lot of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Since it started.
Absolutely. I don't think we've missed a year.
Yeah.
And this year is no different. We'll have a team there. Maybe a little bit smaller because somebody's a bit busy on the Friday afternoon, so it might be smaller than normal. But my partner Johnny and I farm up there with our two daughters, Hattie and Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, I think most people sort of associate me firmly with coloured breeds, but what they don't realise is that actually I'm a Holstein girl in the background. So I grew up on the South Coast. My dad ran a well-known Holstein herd, quite a prolific herd back in the 90s, the Olympian herd.
Right.
And I grew up with them, moved up to Shropshire after university and worked with a load more pretty cool herds, so Smiddy Hill and Sanderford and various others to sort of name drop, really. And a little bit of Riverdane as well. You've just been talking about Mark Knutsford. So, yeah, and then eventually, about 10 years ago now, I moved up to Scotland. And here we are.
Here we are. There you go.
When you say South Coast, whereabouts was the Olympian herd on the South Coast?
They were right on the South Coast, like we could see the Isle of Wight.
Oh, right. So like Portsmouth, Plymouth?
Yeah, Chichester.
Yeah.
So just south of Chichester, between Chichester and Selseybill. So literally on the coast.
Lovely,
we farmed up to the water's edge.
And does that farm still go, or does that herd
they,
still?
The Olympian herd doesn't. They dispersed probably in 1999, I would think. And they went into a more commercial. So I think they're milking about 300 commercial Holsteins and making ice cream very successfully down there. But Dad sort of moved away at that point when they hadn't got the pedigree herd anymore.
That was his thing. He liked the very deep into
he
the
was
pedigrees.
he was there from the start to the finish of that herd.
Very good. Very good. You mentioned university there. What did you study at university?
I studied agriculture.
Yeah.
With a sort of side edge of marketing at Harper Adams.
At Harper?
Yep.
Very good. Was it mainly a sort of all boys kind of thing? There's a lot of...
Yeah, I think it was in, I'm going to show my age, but it was in the 90s, so it was mostly boys. I think there was like 4 or 5 girls on the course at that time.
But so you showed them how it was done?
Obviously. We were discussing the other day, like there's a lot of chat in our house at the minute about sort of further education when you've got a coming up 16-year-old daughter. That's a hot topic at the minute. And Johnny and I were both talking about, like, what did you learn at university? And the only thing either one of us have ever used since is how to drink. Like,
it's an important skill.
Never used a single thing I did at that college.
Networking, socialising.
Except for the use of my left arm to drink a lot of whiskey. I think that's about it.
Good.
Very good.
And then following uni, you went and what did you do after?
So after uni, I trained with Jane Steele and Sheila Metcalf as a photographer.
Oh, did you?
And I did that for a few years until it was sort of time that I needed to settle and have families and all that malarkey and needed to be at home a little bit more than I was.
Yep.
And then I sort of took on more of a graphic design side of things, and that's very much still going now. I'm in the busy period of getting banners and head cards ready for various people for Expo.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still on with that, but full time on the farm as well now. So it's kind of busy. And
you made the switch into brown Swiss more so?
Yeah, I mean, that's Johnny's fault entirely, to be honest. It's not a route I ever sort of saw myself going down, but they're kind of addictive. They're a strange breed because you kind of, you turn your nose up in the old days and now you're quite obsessed with them, if I'm honest. Like they are.
Tell us a little bit about the brown Swiss, the Kedar brown Swiss.
So we're milking around 55 cows at the minute. We've had a bit of a change in the last 12 months. You'll be aware of this. You've sold a lot of the cows. We decided, like everybody, couldn't get any staff. And that's an industry-wide problem, I think. So the plan was that I would come home, we'd cut cow numbers and make it really manageable and sort of simplify the system very much. So that's what we're doing. We're very much on a show herd system, really. We don't push hard for milk. We're averaging around 8,000 litres, something like that at the minute, but on a low input basis. So around 5,000 litres of that is from grass forage. There's no maize or anything on the farm. Glyn will have seen the farm and you've seen it. It's on a bit of a slope, to say the least, and we couldn't grow maize if we tried. So the cows are doing really well, and they are. They've been pretty successful, I would say, over the years.
Yeah. So the cows are outside?
The cows are outside from usually end of March through till October. We just brought the young stock in about 2 weeks ago, the last of them. So, we try and graze as extensively as we can, weather permitting and ground permitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, all very much on a sort of keep it simple basis at the minute.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, my first introduction to brown Swiss was when I was working for Browndale and Sharon Holsteins at Madison, and Dave Brown was quite friendly with Wayne Sliker.
Great man.
And Wayne used to show some of the Sharon and Browndale bulls when we showed bulls. And then I didn't know who this guy was, but he always wore like a big cowboy hat when he was showing. So then I went round to where his cows were. And yeah. So then I was quite taken by, like, even back then in the 90s, he had like fantastic Swiss.
Yeah. Massive impact on the breed, even like today.
Yeah, a lot of his breed. Yeah, of course. And then, because he was breeding, there was brown Swiss, and then there was sort of what I would call his brown Swiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
That were like dairy, and he obviously focused a lot on udder quality. He's had a massive influence, I think, in the brown Swiss genetics. And then along came Snickerdoodle, which obviously has had a massive influence in your herd. So tell us a little bit about how you guys came to have a Starbuck daughter, a Snickerdoodle.
So we actually had 3 daughters of Snickerdoodle originally. And we had the Wonderment that Johnny bought in a sale as a baby calf that finished up as a 93-point cow. And then he had one that was a bit of we don't talk about her. She's a bit of a Bruno. And then the spotty cow, the Starbuck that you were just talking about, she was out in Switzerland and she was a third calver when Johnny saw her. And he spoke to Nicola Pedrini and said, would you sell that cow? And it was a lot more money than Johnny had ever sort of contemplated spending before, but they decided if they were going to invest in this family as thickly as they wanted to, then they were going to have to go with it. And the rest is history, really, with Spotty. She came back and she set the world alight for Kida. She basically put them on the map, I think, in many ways. She had, for us, over 14 excellent daughters. I tried to count up one day the VG and excellent progeny, like the descendants of her, and I got lost because I just couldn't follow it through. There was that many of her. And I think it's a real shame in that respect. Like if she was a Holstein, she'd have like a million brood stars kind of thing. But with her being a Swiss, they don't do that. So she hasn't really received the recognition. But at this point, I would say probably 50% of the herd will be descending back to Spotty.
But I think anybody who doesn't know, so Snickerdoodle, I think, went to Madison 8 years in a row.
Yeah.
I think going from memory.
And I think she won it 7 of them. And she was supreme
and was
twice.
Once or twice? Supreme once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she, like Snickerdoodle herself had a fascinating story. Like if you ever get a chance, like they've just published a story about her. I think it's Alan Basler's niece has written it. He's Mr. Snickerdoodle. And it's incredible. We met him at Madison this time, and the stuff that cow got up to, like it's not as straightforward. You know, she got milk, she did this. She had some wild trips. Like, she toured America like you've never seen. It's brilliant, even in retirement.
Some girl.
Oh, she was definitely.
And then the other line of cows that has had a massive influence at Kedar goes back to Rhea. So the very first expo, you guys were champion with a cow called Rhea.
Yes, absolutely.
And tell us a bit how that line's developed into like what's known as the Rhapsodies now.
So after Foot and Mouth, they restocked with a batch of in-calf heifers from out of Bavaria. And the first one that carved in, he was a bit creative. He's not as creative like with his names as he was then. She was called Number One. And that was actually the original cow that Rhea went back to.
Sounds like Austin Powers.
It really is, yeah. Number one. So, he got a bit more creative since then. I think you probably cringe at some of our names, but
no, not at all.
Number one was where it sort of started, and she ended up breeding the TD Rhea, which is the cow that you were just talking about that won Expo for the first time. And then she was sadly lost shortly after calving her third calf, but she'd won everything. She was national champion up by that point. She'd won Expo twice, I think.
Twice, yeah.
But one of the calves that she left was Rhapsody, and a bit like Spotty, Rhapsody has dictated the herd. She's unreal. I don't think there's ever a year that we've gone out with a show team that has no Rhapsodies in it. Mm-hmm. This year's Expo team is very Rhapsody heavy.
Yeah.
And she's just been like, there's nothing that cow couldn't give you. Like she's given you everything. She's been unreal. She's back on flush as of this morning. She's getting served again. See whether we can get some more babies. But like she bred a daughter the other day that was trying to break the Australian record price, which
Yes.
is pretty
So
cool.
I was going to ask that question. So from the slopes of the Nith Valley,
Yeah.
tell our listeners a little bit where those two lines of cows are now in the world.
Oh, that's a good question. So Australia.
So tell us a little bit about that.
How
The
this
last
happens.
the last sale. The last
sale was at IDW, and we'd
few
sold
weeks ago.
some embryos across to Australia about 12 or 18 months ago now, probably 18 months. And the eggs had sort of gone various different places, and this was the first one to get sold over there. And she reached, I think it's about £14,000 based on the conversion at the moment.
It topped the sale.
It topped the sale, yeah. She was 27,000 Australian dollars, which is the second highest price for a Swiss in Australia ever.
Yeah.
So that's
Good, huh?
pretty awesome.
That is
we
pretty
were,
cool.
we were fairly chuffed with that. If we could get some prices like that in the black and white sale next year, Glyn, that would be like,
Yeah, I'd love it.
you know, if you wouldn't mind, just one maybe, like a little brown one making 27,000. Imagine that! What a headline! But, so yeah, there's now Rhapsodies and Spotties. They are scattered. I'd love to be able to give you a complete list, but I mean, that I can think of off the top of my head. There's some in Austria, Australia, Italy, Canada, America.
So how did that come about? So
just-
like Glyn said, from the Nith Valley, how does you find yourself marketing embryos and your families across the world? How does that happen?
In many ways, the cows have done it for us.
Okay.
You know, Rhapsody's built her own profile.
Yeah.
She came to Expo 4 years on the trot, unbeaten.
I think when you see pictures of that, like especially Rhapsody, she was a game changer for me because she had that sort of extreme dairy, extreme udder quality, and then the pictures alone just sort of say Swiss breeders want a bit of that.
Absolutely. And she's been so consistent in her breeding as well. Yeah. You know, she doesn't, like we always joke that she really doesn't miss. And she doesn't, you know, you can breed her to just about absolutely anything. And they come out and they blow your brains. Like they are phenomenal. I think off the top of my head, there is I think there's 3 or 4 possibly in the team for Expo this time that directly descend back to her and pretty close as well.
So I know you said, could we do it at black and white? So the one thing that frustrates me a little bit, because I do like the cows, is the market here is very limited, I feel.
Yeah. And yet if you go over to the States, you look at all the big guys now.
It's unlimited.
And they've got, like, the sky's the limit. And you look at Milk Sauce, you look at Budjon, you look at Blondin, they've all got a Swiss in the string now. And, you know, they're really taking it up a notch over there. And it's now kind of, do you remember like years back, it was really trendy to have a Jersey in your string. In the States now, it's really trendy to have Swiss in your string. I mean, they've still got the jerseys too. But
But it's because there's a market.
But absolutely.
So why is it limited in the UK? Is it just, what's that down to, do you think?
I don't know.
Come on, Mr. Auctioneer, you must know the answer.
Well, it's the amount of people that are in that breed. It's quite limited. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a strange thing because, you know, having come from the Holstein background, the Swiss will compete with any breed. You know, in the right system, they'll milk as hard as your best Holsteins, and they're totally capable. They're such functional cows. That's the thing that I find really sort of
From a commercial aspect,
it's quite frustrating.
I think Anyway,
What are the direct differences for people that are maybe not familiar with brown Swisses and maybe just see them as like, oh, that's a bit of a breed that you don't see much of? Like, what are the stark differences? You know, a Jersey gives cream, you know, that type of thing. What makes a brown Swiss?
So a Swiss
special?
will give you like a high protein milk. So it's great for if you're cheese making. There's a lot of cheese makers with Swiss. But aside from that, they're going to bring your components up over your average Holstein usually. But they're really functional. And that is what we need to remember. And I think that's how we have to promote the breed as a whole, is that they maybe don't take a lot of the care that you'd need to take. They will, I mean, as I said, the hills of Kedah are pretty steep and they're pretty rocky and they're not forgiving to cows generally. And the Swiss really cope with that. And the other thing that they're great with heat resistance and stuff. So I know we don't necessarily suffer with the heat up here
in the Nith Valley,
but they don't stress it.
You never know. Global warming.
Even on the hottest of days, like the cows will be out grazing.
They don't have
They
that.
don't have a problem.
yeah, the
it can be
hottest of days
snowing.
at 18 degrees.
Oh, you're pushing it. Come on,
No,
we don't
no,
get that very often.
And
no,
they obviously descend from Switzerland.
Yes, they're out the Alps.
So was that their job out there? Was that sort of making cheese, all that type of thing? That's
Yep,
what they were bred for
absolutely.
at the time.
Yep.
And what do the bells have to do with them?
The bells are just, these days
if
they're
you-
just a nice
if you go to the
gesture, aren't they?
mountains,
Yeah.
so it's beautiful. So and it still happens to a certain extent. So you go up to a mountain and there could be 4 milking huts. Well, maybe the milking sheds, but those 4 herds will graze that mountain without any fences. And then at milking time, like Peter, you know Peter,
No.
Heidi and Peter, they milk in this hut 1.
That one.
You've heard of Peter and Heidi, yeah?
Obviously.
Obviously, yeah. Famous people. Yeah, and they'll call their cows and then they'll come to the hut and then the other guys all go to the and then if the wrong cow goes to the wrong hut, Peter kicks it out and goes over to like Stefan's hut.
But it helps them finding them as
So-
well. When you're
so
they make a
grazing
noise,
like
yeah.
a
So
that-
massive,
yeah.
great big mountain,
Yeah.
if they're making a noise, you
They're
know where they are
for
roughly.
being, and then pretty much all that summer production is put into cheese and the cheese is brought down.
Oh,
Often.
cool. What kind of
So-
cheese do they make? Like,
That's a
Swiss
question.
cheese.
yeah.
I'm not
I love
sure.
There.
the one with the holes in.
They can make all sorts. Like we've been making mozzarella out of it for years.
Love mozzarella.
So that the bells have a
It's kind of like the Valley Black Noses. They wear bells, don't they?
for the same
the
with
same
different-
And straight out Switzerland.
Yeah. They love a bell in Switzerland, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like if you win a big show in Switzerland, you get this massive bell as well. They're really cool.
Yeah, it's
Like,
cool.
Massive, massive things. I mean, you get a bell in this country sometimes if they've
I've
remembered
seen
to
them
be
before.
returned.
You've had them at Expo, have you not?
You guys,
Yeah, you have to remember to return them.
that's where it is. They have it.
Actually, it's not. I'll not tell you where it is, but it didn't come back. It didn't come back from the last time we didn't win it. So there hasn't been an Expo bell. Maybe you ought to chase that one, Glyn. Get it back.
Okay.
An
I
Expo
believe
bell.
it's in Wales somewhere.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
Just give
of
it a
that
ring.
one. Yeah. No, that's good. So then you have a big job this year at Expo.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you are judging the showmanship competition.
Yeah, I'm psyched for it. And it's going to be great.
It's exciting.
So tell our listeners, what is showmanship?
So for me, showmanship comes down to a really simple thing. It's doing the best job of the calf that you've got. You've got to use the tools you've got and do as good a job as you can of making that calf look its best at all times that it's in the ring. It is as simple as that. I think people get lost in a lot of the little intricacies and stuff. But if you're doing the right job and your calf is looking on point at all times, even if it's not behaving and it's not parading as you wanted it to, or we've all had that. You'll have had that a number of times, Glyn, where you're in a show ring and it's like, oh, this leads beautifully at home, and what's it doing here?
Yeah.
And it's how to manage the situation that you've got. So if you're cool and you're calm and you can settle that calf and you can get it right, get it stood right, get it walking nicely, that is all showmanship is. We can go into all the intricate little details, but the fundamentals of it is doing the best job that you can with the calf that you've got in your hand. And I think like the standard that we have in this country is phenomenal. You stand by the side of the ring at Expo watching the showmanship and it's unreal.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's the kids put an enormous amount of effort.
Yeah, there's a lot of
into
young
it.
people in it,
Absolutely.
isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always think people say, well, what's the point of that? But I always think there's so many the dedication and the hard work and all that, you can put that into pretty much the rest of your life if you
Absolutely. The skills that you learn through doing showmanship, they carry you on for the future.
It doesn't matter what you want to get into. So tell us a little bit about, so it's class number 1. We always start with the mature handlers at Expo because people say that's back to front, but it's not really.
I think it's a great idea because you're letting the younger ones watch the older ones.
So that's why I've done that over the years.
Yeah.
So if the young ones are listening and the young ones' parents are listening, listen, because it doesn't happen enough. Take the kids to ringside and watch the mature guys show.
Absolutely. These are the guys you're going to learn off.
Yeah.
And it's the easiest way to learn is by watching.
It's a mature class.
Yep.
They're coming in. First heifer in. What is Jess Miller looking for?
Jess is looking for somebody that comes in and they're cool and they're calm. They're really collected. They're not stressing. I hate to see people that come in and they're really rigid and stiff with their calf. Calves react.
Yeah,
And
animals do, don't
the
they?
Expo ring is quite a reactive ring, I think,
It's
actually.
quite small.
And the atmosphere in there, like you feel it yourself when you're leading, and your calves are going to feel it too. So if you come in and you're like, I'm on this, I've got this, this cool attitude, my calf's going to settle because of it. And I'll know probably within the first 10 steps of whether we're going to be really focusing on you later in the class, because I think you can read that in people as to whether they've got what you're looking for. But you're going to come in, you're going to have beautiful head carriage, you're going to be holding your halter nicely, you're going to be turned out perfectly. Like there's no room for scruffy,
is there anything
scruffy people.
Any things that, like, on that initial glance are going to, like, put you down?
What's a pet peeve?
White sneakers?
Oh, if somebody comes in and
Unbrushed
they've not
hair?
got sensible footwear on, that's a big issue.
That's
for me,
a
'cause
red
that's
flag.
a safety issue.
Yeah.
And it comes down to that.
What about girls that with long hair?
It should be tied up.
Okay.
Okay.
But to me, I don't want to see loose hair because it's in the
Listening?
way.
Yeah.
It gets chewed
Or
out.
guys
it
with
gets-
long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
either way.
Don't
put
discriminate.
You
Put
can
it
have
up.
that. You
Let's
can have that.
tidy yourselves
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
No, I want to see somebody that's neat and tidy. That is fundamental. Like it's basic respect to your calf. that you
Proper
can-
tie, proper number on. 'Cause
Absolutely.
there's nothing more frustrating when they've got the wrong numbers on.
No, or upside down.
Yeah, or upside down is even worse.
Yeah.
The commentators can't read it.
Should we have like, before it starts, somebody doing it all wrong? As a
Oh, surely that's obvious.
No. I mean, if you want to come in like
No,
in
I-
your whites, Glyn, and I can, I
think we
can
should-
rip your news.
what it was. We'll get back to the real deal, but I think we should have like an old guys and girls.
we've suggested
like,
this.
you know,
They did that at the All Britain 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and it was
we
really
suggest
funny.
this.
I think we should do that.
And what was it? Retired showmanship or something?
Yeah.
That would be fun.
we should do that. We should do that one year. Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
We used to do it when I grew up in the Southeast, young breeders. We used to do it that the champion handler got to judge an old person's class afterwards.
An old person's.
So like all the parents came in then, I consider myself old person. So. But all the parents came in sort of after the championship when it was all done, and they'd steal their kids' calves and
Be quite
come out.
competitive.
And
What
then
age?
but it was a really good way for the champion handler to learn a bit of, like, a lot of those kids won't have judged anything
Yeah,
either.
yeah, that's a good
And they
idea.
have to give a set of reasons and stuff. And some rose to the challenge, some absolutely fell to pieces, but it was highly entertaining, whichever way round it was.
What age does showmanship go up to?
26.
26. Okay, and you can start as young as... Surely there must be a minimum age on it.
I don't honestly know, Expo.
You get some tiny tots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5 maybe?
Yeah.
there's been some real wee ones at Expo, isn't there?
It's good if they're.
I love them. I love seeing them when they're like, their trousers are too long and they're like, everything's massive on them and they've got this calf and they're like,
There's some, yeah, and they're chatting away to their buddies and.
yeah, they're like, and kicking their heels and like looking at me and like,
They get so bored so quick of it, though. That's
do.
the thing when they're like,
and they're just
What
buzzing
else
with
can I
a wee
do?
sweetie at the end is all they're buzzing for, isn't
yeah.
it?
I know, like Nancy went to Dumfries show a couple of years ago, and like Nancy, if anyone's ever met Nancy, there is a zero given about anything. Like she's not bothered, and doing any sort of showing. Like if we get her in the ring this year, it'll be a miracle. But she certainly won't be like, yeah, she'll come in. She just danced all the way around the ring. So Johnny ended up there with his calf. So he's like got a milk calf. He's 6'5" or whatever, and Nancy's just like swinging off the end of the halter, dancing like merrily away. Kind
What
of.
are we doing here?
Yeah. Why are we doing this, Dad?
Oh.
You're not doing much of a job leading that calf, are you?
It's all good fun, isn't it?
But it is. It's so cute, and it's one
is
day
cute.
we'll get her back in the
So
ring.
I've went off on one of those sort of
Tangents.
tangents. So getting back to like, so you've done your initial thing. So then, what's next? You sort of, you've had a glance at them all, and then
Then we'll start doing a bit of stopping.
You start to assessing
Yeah.
all the
Make sure that they're knowing what I'm looking for when I'm moving around, making sure that they're conscious and they're aware of me. We'll make sure they're swapping legs. Make sure that if I feel for some skin, that they're going to turn the head in the right direction towards me.
Oh.
And you go through these. little things.
why?
I wouldn't know that you have to turn the head and stuff
so
to
like,
get the skin.
Why do you do that?
So if you have a calf that's sort of flat to the side of you,
Okay, like parallel to you,
yeah,
do you mean?
completely
yeah.
parallel to you, and you go to feel its skin,
Yeah.
it'll often be a little
Tight.
bit tight.
Tight.
So as a show person, you're trying to show that it's got loads of skin and it's got loads of room to grow into. It's got silky fine skin. So the best way of doing that is to turn the calf's head towards the judge, and that allows them just that little bit extra skin you see that you're feeling.
That's a good tip. I didn't know that.
Oh, there we go. All these little.
All these little things that
Yeah.
you just like. It's all these little things that maybe people that are watching that aren't showing that are just like, what are they doing? Why are they doing that?
Yeah,
So then that's
absolutely.
what,
That's
But
cool.
it all comes down to making your calf look as good as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And there's not, you probably, if you were judging calves, you don't, I mean, some judges will peel skin, but you don't always do it.
Yeah.
But if you can give that little bit of an advantage, And it's, you know, it's transferring those skills and that knowledge from your showmanship into actually showing your calves later on in the day that, right, if we do this, that's making my calf look better.
Oh, I forgot to mention the new H&H Rural Matters bursary.
Cool. Tell me more.
So we're launching, the application's open on the 20th of February. And it's a new initiative for 25 to 35-year-old farmers farming in Cumbria. You got to be Cumbrian. It's £3,000, which is quite a decent amount of money.
Very good, yeah.
And it will go towards like a project that you have, an initiative you have, even further education that you're wanting to broaden your outlook with. And yeah, so the application forms are on our website. Just send it in. And
Applications closed. When have you got till?
Close on the 24th of April. And yeah, and there'll be like a sort of committee or a judges panel to select the winners. And the nice thing about it, we'll make a nice little video about your project, about your initiative. And that will be launched at the Cumbrian Farming Awards in August.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
So even that will get you a lot of PR and coverage from it. So
out there. So get your applications in, guys. And we will see where the future of Cumbria is going to go.
No, it's really important. So I think, and also that will go towards, we're looking for something that's going to like really strengthen the rural economy as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Exciting.
Cool.
Hi, I'm David. I'm the Head of Agriculture for H&H Insurance Brokers. We are a successful business rooted in Cumbria. We've looked after farmers in the north of England and the south of Scotland for almost 40 years. So every day we work with farm and rural businesses just like yours who in turn are working hard to produce the food required for our tables. We act as a trusted advisor to our clients in the same way that you would turn to a solicitor or an accountant to give you good, quality, expert advice. We always take the time to get to know you and your business, allowing us to have an in-depth understanding of what you need to plan for the future and to provide the best advice possible. Our team of experienced account executives use their knowledge of the insurance industry to advise you on any potential threats and risks. As an independent broker, we have access to a wide range of insurance providers, which enables us to find the right product for you at a competitive price. You can always be assured that you will receive a personal and first-class service. In fact, you could say we are the exact opposite of a faceless call centre. Insurance is about more than just planning for future events. It is about having the peace of mind that your business is protected when something goes wrong, which means you can focus on the things that matter the most. We're here to do just that. So next time your insurance renewals are due for your farm or your business, please give us a call and we can see what we can do for you. We'll meet up and have a chat. Call us on 01228 406 290.
And do you have to ask any of the showmanship anything about their calf? Do you speak to them? Do you ask them
I'll talk to each and every one of them. What I ask will be variant according to their age and ability level.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to ask.
No.
Because I like to throw some random questions in just to,
But the types
particularly
of
to
things,
the older ones.
do you ask them do you ask them like how they look after it and all that kind of stuff? So you know that they're actually not just being...
No, not so much. The younger ones, like if they're really little, I might ask their calf's name.
Yeah.
I might ask the date of birth, things like that. As they get older, I might start throwing in some slightly quirkier questions that will get them to actually have to use the brain and not the pre-rehearsed thought process of, I must know this, I must know this. So I'll ask them something that they're not expecting.
Because the only thing I can liken this to for me, because I'm not a calf shower of cows or whatever, is like showing my pony when I was little. And you would go around and the judge would come and speak to you. Well, when I was little, they would come and speak to you, like you say, like, what's its name? How old is it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, how do you feed it? And then when you were older, it was like what it was bred by, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
What you've done with it.
Yep.
So it's similar in that vein, I suppose.
Years ago, I was down at Kent County Show and I was clipping for a guy by the name of Trevor Warren. Do you know Trevor?
Yeah.
Henniker's. And I was doing his clipping and I clipped a couple of calves. And then I happened to be judging the young farmers showmanship the next day. And it hadn't crossed my mind these calves were going to be used in the young farmers showmanship. Like it wasn't, as far as I was concerned, they were totally separate entities, young farmers versus young breeders kind of thing. So it wasn't an issue. And as I went into this ring, like the stewards were like, right, we need you to ask about the preparation of the calves. asked them what blades they've used to clip them, asked them about,
all right.
you know, what they were like to
This
clip.
was young farmers?
This was young farmers. And I was like, okay, fine. Anyway, these two young girls walked in and I'm like, I recognise those calves. What? Oh, no. And I said, did you clip this calf yourself? Yes. I said, all right, what blade did you use? And she went, oh, it was a fine blade, yeah. Oh, okay, all right, good. Yeah. Moved on, went to the next one. I said, oh, did you clip this calf yourself? Yeah. I said, and you did the top line, everything? Yeah. I said, all right. Yeah. What sprays did you put in it? Oh,
Hairspray.
Hairspray, yeah. And it was like this really vague answer. Anyway, these girls did a reasonable job on the halter, but like they ended up quite a long way down the line. And both of them came up to me afterwards and went, what did I do wrong? I was like, I clipped that calf yesterday.
Come
you had nothing to do
You
with
told
this.
lies.
Yeah, don't lie to me. But no, I think like when you come to talking to kids in the ring, the fundamental is that like, even if you don't know the answer, remember, I probably don't know the answer. That was a very rare occasion that I do know the answer.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I don't know if your calf's a month old or it's 6 weeks old or it's 6 months old. I've got a rough idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know its date of birth unless it's got it in the ear tag.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much wing a bit of an answer. Just, front it out. And if you can make me laugh, I
Confidence.
love that. If
Make you
somebody
laugh.
comes out with an answer that just tickles me, that I can walk around the rest of the class in a better
Quite
mood.
happy.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Don't mind a bit of cheek. You can go with that.
And how do you, I guess like the younger people must be harder to judge, like the little ones, because you don't want to break hearts, do you?
No, absolutely
And they're
not.
all so sweet. And
I hate making kids
it's managing
cry.
expectations.
It's the worst thing in the world.
The younger that they get, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
hard, that, isn't it? But
Yep.
that is the way you learn, isn't it? All the
Oh, we've all
wins
been
and the
there.
losses.
Yeah, definitely. But
Makes
no,
you-
I think the thing is, you've got to take it, you take these things with a pinch of salt. It's one person's opinion on one day.
Yeah.
Maybe
you have
next,
to remember that, don't
maybe
you?
next week, if you went through the same class again with a different person in the middle of the ring, something comes out totally different. Your calf behaves differently or whatever. But I think people can get really stressed if their calf doesn't lead or whatever. We've all had calves that don't lead. If you can own it and go, yeah, she's not doing exactly what she does at home, but look, I'm coping with it. I'm calm. I'm fixing what this is. Like Hattie had it at Expo last year. And the first circuit, I had my head in my hands going, oh, this is a disaster. Like this is going to end really badly. And her calf was doing all sorts. And it was an absolute pain in the backside all weekend, that calf. And, she's always been foot perfect. She was never a problem. And I just watched this first circuit and I'm going, oh, this is a disaster. And by the end of the first circuit, because she was laid back and she was relaxed about it and she settled that calf and ended up winning the class. And it's never too late. You can always do,
Rescue.
you can fix it. If it goes wrong, it's fine.
Because it's about the handler, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you're handling
That
the calf
one
to the best
mistake
you
isn't
can
going
that
to
day.
rule out the outcome.
Yeah.
Did you took part in showmanship when you were
I did,
going
yes.
through?
Yeah, for many years.
And were you quite successful at it?
I was back-to-back national champion.
She was not
So
bad.
yeah, not bad.
Shabby, eh? Just once or twice.
I think I was the only person to do it like 2 years on the trot, but yeah, just saying
So
that.
how did you cut your cloth? Tell us about this showmanship journey for you. How have you got to being in the middle of the ring in March?
So-
what qualifies you to get there?
Oh gosh. So obviously, like doing my own showmanship, I grew up down south. The standard wasn't maybe as high as it was further north in the country. So when I moved further north, I actually worked at a sale, the Primo sale, John Goff's sale.
Yeah.
And he rang me about 2 months before the sale and said, could you come and work with some calves for me? And he wasn't far away. So I went and I stayed there with...
With John Goff, was that in Wales? Was he herself?
No, he was outside Newport in Shropshire.
Newport, okay.
And so I was training all his calves, me and a couple of other lasses. And, when you get a feel about a calf, you get that, she gives you the little chills. And I...
Chicken skin.
Chicken skin. That's
Absolutely.
that's what he calls it.
Absolutely, yeah. And,
Everyone says goosebumps, but he says chicken skin.
whichever works for you, Glyn. Whatever floats your boat, mate. But yeah, there was a calf, like, you always get one calf that sort of sets everything going. And this calf was a calf called Primo Jed Celeste. And, she was an absolute babe. Like, she was on it. She knew what she was doing. And she was sold through the sale and Smitty Hill bought her. And I thought, right, I'm going to have a bit of cheek because if you don't ask, you don't get, do you? So I rang Dave Bostock and went, that calf you've just bought, any chance I could, like, show it this season? And he went, oh, yeah, if you want to do that, you have it. He said, it leads nice for you. You know, you can
Go
do a
for
bit
it.
of showmanship for it. And we got to the National Holstein Show as was, and Phil Jones and Bev Bostock were on full coach mode for that night. And then the next day we went out, won the showmanship with this calf. And she was a dream. Like, you didn't really need to be there. And from that point onwards, sort of, she was the breaking point. I'd been a middle of the road showmanship person.
It was your
from
lucky
that
break.
point. Absolutely. Sometimes it just takes the right calf. Sometimes it takes a bit of luck that day. Sometimes it takes 2 hours of somebody teaching you to re-walk and you thought you knew how to walk and apparently you don't.
That's very true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And that in itself gave me so much confidence to go forward that actually, you know, we could do this. And yeah, I lucked out on another great calf the following year. A calf called Smitty Hill Stefan Reward, who went down in history a little bit. She was unbeaten for years, and both of them went unbeaten for a long time. They were beautiful calves. Yeah. And that sort of set me on a trajectory, really, of showmanship. And then, obviously, you get to a point you're too old, unfortunately, and you have to start doing other stuff. And then the judging sort of started to kick in and cut my teeth on the smaller shows. And then got to, I think it was 2014, and got the terrifying phone call from Holstein UK saying, will you do the showmanship at All Britain? And I went, I don't think, like I said, I was a bit nervous this morning and hadn't had my breakfast. I don't think I had breakfast for about 6 months before that show. I was like, I was a goner. It was
Really?
Oh yeah, I was terrified. Never been so scared. But it was like, it's like all these things, isn't it? You can wind yourself up over it. And you can always think that, like, you get nervous when you're showing. But you can guarantee the judge has probably got a few butterflies in there as well, you know. And I think you need that. But once you get going, it's fine. It all sits into place. And like that end of the first class, I just remember being at the All Britain going, oh my God, these calves, these kids are never going to stop. And they're all walking in. It was the young class. They're all walking in, grinning at you as they walk in. You're like, oh boy.
But it all, yeah. Once
it
you
just clicks in.
Once you go through the process, it's fairly straightforward.
Absolutely. Oh, it is. Because
Get
you
into
know
your
what you're
stride.
looking for. And it's just a case of sort of sorting where they all fit in. And it's, yeah, I've enjoyed showmanship.
You got to do probably your biggest deal last year at World Dairy Expo.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that and that experience.
So, yeah, I judged the showmanship, the intermediate showmanship at Madison last year. Unbelievable. We had 150 intermediate showmen. So between the age of, I think, 14 and 16.
Oh my God. From all over
the States and some from Canada as well. And that was, some experience. Like, it was wild.
So how big are the classes?
So we did 6 heats that were, I think, between 20 and 30 kids in each heat. And then picked out between 3 and 6 kids from each heat to come back and compete at the end.
Wow, imagine travelling all that way.
Yeah.
I mean, in a class of like 30.
Yeah.
Again, it was like the first class walked in and you went,
That's a different experience than you'll ever have had before because of the size of the ring. When you're standing in the center, like you know, you're probably 20 meters from that 20. You know, it's a big arena.
Well, I think, like, I don't like to wear my glasses very often. I'm a little bit vain. And it was literally like the first 2 kids walked in the ring and I had to walk to the side of the ring and grab my glasses out of my bag because I was like, I can't see these kids. They're that far away.
People were asking about that, but they were wondering why you had the binoculars.
It's just, they really are that bad, my eyes. But yeah, you don't realise the scale of it. And you're like, you literally stood in the middle and God, American kids are all so alike. Like, they're all trained identically. And you start trying to pick things apart and you're like, oh my goodness, was it you or was it you? And yeah, you have to really focus. So all the kids out there ended up with like a little nickname in my head. So we had like American so-and-so and American so-and-so that were doing the different jobs because it was the only way I could remember them was to liken them to somebody in this country that I knew because otherwise they were just...
How long does it take you to judge? Like
that was, I think, probably about 3 hours to get through that lot, maybe 4.
To get through the 6 heats?
Yeah.
And then
you had an hour for the final class. Wow.
And who was your intermediate champion?
So the intermediate champion...
Just in case they're listening?
She can't remember his nickname. It was like
It was Glyn Lucas, the American version.
I think he was one of One Direction, actually. I think he was like Niall off One Direction because he had like the blonde hair. I think if I'm going to be in trouble if I get his name wrong, but I'm pretty sure his name was William Zimmerman.
Wow.
And he was intermediate champion, and then he went on to actually be crowned overall.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you how
cool.
you're, yeah.
So yeah, he did
And
really well.
Did you guys judge it together, or did somebody do
The three judges, initially they said like, oh, what we'll do is give you like, you can go out and give them all points. So you've got 6 handlers in the ring, give them all a point.
Oh, so it was your first and second from each class.
And the three of us sort of looked at each other and went, we could end up with the wrong kid at the top of this. If we get this, like, you know.
Could the second place in your class win overall?
Yep.
Oh, they could.
Ah,
yeah.
right,
So that's
yeah.
quite good.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of an upset. Like if they come out, I was going
Again
to say
enough,
actually, like in the championship at Expo, it'll be judged as a fresh class.
Yeah.
So
Have to maintain
everything that's happened before, if you were first or second, you come out and it'll be judged as a new class altogether. And if the second place handler suddenly stepped up and is doing the job better, I won't be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Are you listening to that, guys?
Whoa.
yeah, you might not win your
Slate
class,
clean.
you could still win a trophy at the end of
Slate's
it.
clean.
Absolutely, yeah. Starting from scratch, no preconceived ideas about what happened in class earlier. So yeah, we sort of talked it through with the other judges, and Jason and John we all pulled faces, going, I don't really want to give points out. That doesn't seem quite fair. So we decided that the best option was we'd split the judging 3 ways. So I would work the class and go out and work the kids. They'd stand and watch what each of the kids was doing. Then one of them would give reasons. We'd all confer, decide that we were all happy with the same kid. And then one would give reasons, one would go out and do the high five. And a bit gutted I didn't get to do that, but you know.
The high five.
That would have been like the pièce de résistance. But like John was so excited about doing it. I was like, oh, on you go, like you go and do it.
That's good.
And was he absolutely elated?
Oh my God, yeah, William was just, I've never seen a face like it. But I mean, he was so on it that day. And he didn't have the easiest calf. And that is, like we were talking about earlier, like his calf was a handful. When I watched it back, like she was not easy. She was a little bit big for him, if truth be told. But he did such a beautiful job with it. And he was so composed about what he was doing. And yeah, he had the biggest supporting, like...
Entourage?
Oh, man.
Where was he from?
I have
Was
no
he
idea.
local to? No,
haven't
was he,
got
I was just wondering if he travelled a long way. He wasn't Canadian then.
No, I don't think he was. I think he was probably reasonably. I mean, as local as you get to Wisconsin, like
Wisconsin lad.
Yeah, I would say so. But he
Just
had
a boy.
like this massive, like he literally got swamped by family members when he was tapped out.
That's
But
so
this
nice.
face on him was just made up, and they get like mega prize money out there as well.
Oh, did it?
Oh yeah, it was huge.
Wow.
Yeah,
The kids get, even the junior show champions get like a brand new trailer, don't they?
yeah,
Did they
Yeah.
get like an awesome trophy? Like a huge...
Yeah, the trophies.
Yeah,
Getting excited.
it's
but
like
they get a full like gooseneck trailer.
Cool.
for a year, don't they? They get it for a year.
Oh, is it just for a year?
Yeah, and then they can either buy it or they give it back.
So they get a loan of it.
Yeah, but
That's
still
quite
really
cool,
cool.
though.
I'd quite like
Yeah.
it if somebody
that
gave
is
me a
really
gooseneck
cool.
trailer. That would be
That is a very cool
awesome.
idea. Oh,
But yeah,
bless him.
like the prize money was something like, I think for champion showman it was about $3,000. So like it's
More than
mega.
you get for winning
Mega.
champion cow, champion Holstein.
I probably
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Over
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it's
That
a
is
big
mega.
thing, and I think Milk's also put a lot of money into the showmanship over there
Yeah.
for Annette Holstrom in her memory. So
Yeah.
that's really nice. But yeah, it was some buzz. It was wild, absolutely amazing experience.
Cool.
That's probably the pinnacle of the showmanship deal. Maybe the Hez Classic as well. The
Absolutely,
Winter Fair be the two big ones.
yeah, definitely. But no, it was an experience that you'll never ever forget.
Yeah.
And yeah, just walking on those coloured shavings. Like I've done it a few times with cows in my hand, but I've never ever dreamed that I'd get to do it and be the person in the middle. So now, we'll set the goals. Let's go for the cows next.
Go for it. Why not?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Expo. One final thing that I think you've had to do with this year is been quite instrumental in the introduction of the new trophy that's going to be
Yes,
presented this year.
absolutely.
You want to explain a wee bit about that?
So many of you will know our previous herdsperson, Leanne Hedges, who sadly passed away in October last year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, well, we were at not last year, just gone the year before,
At
sorry.
Madison.
She passed away on Red and White Day. And Leanne
Oh.
was a big supporter of the show. She loved UK Dairy Expo. And we kind of always felt that there needed to be something when you lose everything at 36 years old.
Yeah.
It's criminal. It was such a waste of such a beautiful, positive human being. And she fought so hard for so many years that she needed a legacy. And we sat and thought for a long time at home, right? How can we memorialize Leanne? Like, what is going to be her lasting legacy? And decided that with H&H's help, that we would organise this trophy that will be going to basically the supreme of the coloured breeds.
Yep.
So I think, is it lunchtime you're doing that? Or
So
lunchtime on the Saturday.
Saturday, once all the colour breeds are finished,
Yep.
we're going to have a supreme colour breeds champion.
Yeah.
And you've made a beautiful.
The
Tell us a little bit about the trophy.
The trophy is beautiful. It's a true type model cow. It's jet black, but it's stunning. It's got like so much texture about it. It's really lovely. And it's actually mounted on a piece of wood that was sourced up at Keda from right by Leanne's house. So I think that's kind of special that it keeps that
really
going
nice.
with her. And so us and various of her previous employers have all chipped in.
Just mention all the people that Leanne worked for.
So
that have contributed to the trophy.
So Matt Engel at Lucky, she was a big fan of Lucky and did a lot of work with them for their sales and spent some time over with them as well. Anthony Grimshaw and Errol Doan. So it was a short career, but like Leanne's, she was a real natural cow person. She was, for somebody who grew up in the town with no experience of animals at all, and then she went off to college, got an opportunity to go and work with sheep and a few dairy cows out in New Zealand, and got the bug. And I don't think I've ever met anyone that's so natural and so intuitive about cows as Leanne was. And, you know, she'd pick up the daftest little thing and you go, are you sure? Like, she'd go, no, something's not right with that cow. And you think, you know, I'm sure it's fine. And then sure enough, she's right every time. And she was a real special person, but she had this beaming smile all the time. Oh. And
so Leanne's mother will be there to present
I'm
the
hoping
trophy along with
Leanne's
you
mum
guys.
will come up. If not, then it'll be her brother, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But one or other of them will be coming up to present that.
And I think all those people you mentioned will be at the show as well. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know whether Errol's coming back from Hong Kong, is he? But I'm sure Anthony Grimshaw
I think
is,
Errol
so-
sent me an email yesterday
fantastic.
saying that he was going to try to be here.
Oh, that would be lovely.
That would be nice,
Well,
yeah, for
Hong
you
Kong.
all to
Real
be there.
special,
Hong
yeah.
Kong.
The girls in the office were quite amazed that there was
Not the
Dairy-
girls, no. Lara was amazed.
dairy cows in Hong Kong. But anyway,
She doesn't associate dairy cows with Hong Kong, which, fair. It's not
Well,
a
yeah, no,
natural
it's not,
place
it's
that
not
you
your
would think.
obvious thought,
No.
is it? Like,
so yeah,
so that's, it's a really nice and beautiful trophy to commemorate a beautiful person. And
Yeah, that's so
I
nice.
think it's a really nice thing as well, just to break that up. We've seen a lot of Holstein champions over the years, so it'd be nice to have a coloured breed champion.
no,
getting
and that was
recognised.
something that I was really excited to. I think it's really, really nice that we're going to remember Leanne in this special way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also really nice for Expo now to be highlighting the coloured
coloured
breeds,
breeds,
in a really special way
I
every
think they
year
often
going
get
forward.
a little bit forgotten. Not so much at Expo, but a lot of the shows, they're kind of an also ran against, like an afterthought from the
Yeah.
Holsteins. So I think it's really nice to make them
Front and
like
centre
a bit
again.
of a focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that from that they're going to get a lot more coverage in the post expo
The
press.
PR.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
going to
hope
be
so.
that's important.
Cool.
That's important.
It's very good. So just linking up the two, when me and Glenn were on driving up here today, I was saying to him, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, because there's always a correlation. I always think there's a conversation between people that milk and people that show, and what, you know, just describing and the value there is in showing animals, going to all these major shows. Why would you do that? In your words, what's the value of doing things like that and learning to do it properly and showcasing what you do?
I think we touched upon it earlier that we've sold embryos around the world. We've now got 2 animals that we own in America ourselves. And I think without showing, we're just another herd.
Yep.
So there's herds all over the country that don't get the profile, it's another finance route at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, the milk price is abysmal. You have to find other routes to make money. And if we can make that through, you know, whether it's not necessarily making money at shows as a direct result of the show, but the sales that come following it, that's a huge impact on the business. That's a massive, you know, our stock sales every year, they really help out the milk check
Yeah.
and the embryo sales. And, you know, we've a list of embryo orders that we cannot in a million years ever fulfill at this point. I think the next tank is destined for Australia again. And we're hoping with everything we possibly can that these cows flush well this time, because
we need them.
Otherwise these people are going to be waiting for years for eggs. But yeah, without that showing and that promotion, it's cheap promotion. Yeah, it really is. Like, you take out an advert in a newspaper or a magazine or whatever, it gets seen by hardly anybody. You go to a show, you do well. You go to a show and don't do well when you should do well, and it's even better promotion probably, because that's the cow that should have won.
So just how important, when you're talking about the global market, how important is the live streaming for your business?
Oh, massive. It's absolutely enormous. And you'll get that. We'll get probably 4 or 5 phone calls on the way home from every show from people that are in Australia, people in America. Oh, I saw that cow. That's a great cow. Have you got any eggs off that?
Yeah.
You know, or what are you breeding that to? And you need those conversations with people. And, you know, even just by turning up at the show and not even walking in the ring, you have those conversations with potential customers, and everyone you talk to is a potential customer. We might convert 1 person into Swiss. We might convert 10 that day, just because they've seen a cow and go, oh, I love that. That's a great cow.
There's a couple of new guys that you've sold to showing this year.
Yep, that's really exciting.
So that's good.
It's like a shop window, isn't it?
It is.
And you have to put yourself out there, you know.
Yep.
You can't
if you
expect
stay
people
behind closed doors, they're not going to
know, are you?
No, definitely
You'd have some
not.
hidden gems.
Exactly.
Hidden gems.
But
very good. Well, not long. 5 weeks to go.
I know, it's coming around quick, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
The show team's coming on. It's not like, as we were discussing it this morning, like, the heifers are on an upward trajectory. We'll go with that theory that they're not just on it yet, but they will be by Expo. I'll have them right by
That's
Expo.
a good way to be, rather than on it.
I don't want them peaking too early.
No, you don't know.
What about the one that you gave the dodgy haircut to when I was there the other week?
That's Rhapsody.
Oh, she's got a very dodgy haircut.
Really, Laura, we have to talk about that.
Jess is like, I'm ashamed to show you.
Oh, dear. So I'm one of these people that if you leave me to my own devices, I idle hands, you know. And we'd got the flush cows all tied up one day, and they all looked a bit sweaty and a bit manky. And it's that time of year, they've got a lot of wool on them. And Johnny went off to the other farm for half an hour, 40 minutes, and I started winter clipping some of the flush cows, thinking, oh, it'll cool them down a bit, and they'll stop sweating when they're running around bulling and things. And 3 of them messed around, and they weren't fun to clip at all. And then I got to Rhapsody, and it was like, oh, she's really hairy and she's really sweaty. And like, in her younger days, Matt Williamson will always tell you that Rhapsody hated being clipped. But these days, she's like, this is great. There. She was loving life. And I just had the old battery clippers on. Oh, I'm so embarrassed of this.
What did it look like?
I wish I'd taken a picture.
Oh, no.
Because you were like, don't get her in the background of the video. Do not get her in the background of the video.
Could you have done a better job with a blunt penknife?
I would say if you got a team of rats to chew at it, it might have been a better job. But it was one of those that, like, you started at the back and went all down one side and it was fine, and then got halfway down the other side, ran out of battery, and I've never got back to finishing her.
Oh my goodness.
And Johnny just walked back and he was like, what have you done to that cow? I was like, but she loves it.
She was basically standing there being like, yeah, my mum gave me a really shit haircut today.
Oh, she did. It's the worst haircut you've ever seen in your life, and I will get around and finish her one of these days, but she'll probably need rebody clipping again before I do. But like we always said with Rhapsody, like, she used to carve just before Expo. She was always within a fortnight of Expo. And she'd carve in and she'd look really sad and sorry for herself. And both of us would go like, oh, we can't take her this year. It's not going to happen. And then one of us would get the stupid idea, let's knock the hair off her and we'll put her in that box for a couple of days. And Rhapsody would literally light up. Like, she'd change instantly. As soon as you took the hair off her, she'd be like, yeah, I'm going showing now.
Yeah.
I know where I'm off to. This is great. And she would literally like come alive.
Yeah.
And she did it every single time. And like all those times she was unbeaten, she'd carved like a fortnight beforehand. She'd probably been sick or something like the day before the show just to give us a little scare. And then she'd come out every time like absolutely nailing it.
She's just a diva.
Oh, she is full scale. Like that is her wrapped up in one word basically. But yeah, so I was like, I'm doing her a favour taking all this wool off because, you know, she's going to love
battery.
She's going to give us the biggest flush ever this time just because like she thinks she's on.
Are you, is it conventional or do you IVF?
Conventional.
Conventional.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Jess. That's been thoroughly interesting.
Well, thank you very much for mentioning Rhapsody's haircut. I'm going to get in so much trouble for that being publicised.
This will be streamed out on the 20th of this month. So, guys, please do tune in and listen to your showmanship judge of 2026.
Yeah. No, thanks for coming, Jess.
Oh, thank you for having me, and I'm really looking forward to March. It's going to be exciting.
Hope you really enjoy it.
Oh, we will, I'm sure.
Hope the Kedar team have another successful expo.
Fingers crossed.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow, that was really interesting, wasn't it, Laura?
Yeah, that was a really good conversation.
Yeah, Jess has accomplished a lot for a girl from the South Coast to World Dairy Expo and now UK Dairy Expo.
Now she's reached her pinnacle of her career.
Pinnacle.
Well, after March, she'll have reached her pinnacle of her career.
No, but I think it was a really good insight. Hopefully, a lot of the young people that are taking part in the showmanship will watch the podcast and listen to the podcast. Just a few things that Jess will be looking for in March. And there's a lot of really nice tips. But the biggest one probably is just to be relaxed when you're coming in and
Yeah, exactly. And handling the situation that is presented to you, because as she said, that the calves and things like that don't always do what they've done when they've been at home. It might be a new environment for them, but as long as you're managing it that day, then that's all you can do, isn't it?
Also really interesting to hear about the Kedar Brown Swiss business and how they've globalized that into a really unique, sought after line, pretty much 2 lines of Brown Swiss that are now across the globe. So well done, and wish them guys all the best. Absolutely.
And we were just saying there, just off air, just at the end there, about the socializing aspect of young people doing showmanship and building those components that you need in later life for varying different things, from, communicating correctly, manners, all that type of stuff, making friends, relationships.
I've always said that people get caught up in all the little technicalities with showmanship, but on a broader scale, all of the disciplines that are required to be the very best in showmanship are skills you'll take through life if you want to be successful.
Absolutely.
And a high performer.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, we must just thank our sponsors.
HHIB Media. And again, I did ask Jess about how important the live streaming was to their business, and she went, so
super
just goes to show you how important what HHIB Media do for us at UK Dairy Expo, how important that is, not just to us, but to the people who show the cows. So that's really helped their business. Yeah.
And also a massive thank you to H&H Insurance Brokers. Again, linking it back to Dairy Expo, you must have your farm insured to the correct level when you're away, because if a catastrophe strikes.
Catastrophe. That almost was a catastrophe saying.
Yeah, that was, yeah. You want to be safe in the knowledge that you're well protected, don't you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for listening. As always, please like, share, comment, review, email us with any ideas of guests or anyone like that you would like to see on The One and Only. And we will catch you in March.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. Bye.